Herzlich willkommen zu Dragons TV und an meiner Seite von TSV Oberhaching Tropics, Omari Knox. Omari, schön, dass du mein Gast bist. Great that you're my guest.
Thank you. Always great pleasure to catch up with you whenever I get it.
Always great to see you, Omari. First, we'll talk about the game. A tough 93-89 loss with 6 players only, and it was really 5 players. I don't know how many minutes Bennett played, but it wasn't that much. So you guys all pretty much played through it and almost beat the Rhöndorf.
Yeah, there was we had nothing to lose going into it. We knew that. Just give everything and see what happens.
So, I mean, with 6 men, I mean, you guys had a 10-0 run at the end, and almost Nicholas Schuler missed the 3, but I think you guys got an offensive rebound and putback, and then it was 2 points with 7 seconds to play, but Rhöndorf had the ball.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes those are some of the best games where you really have nothing to lose. You just fight to the end and see what happens, and that's what happened. Mario kept saying, "Hey, I've had basketball wonders before. Just keep playing, see what happens."
Those are perfect words. I'm sure he was very proud of you after the game as a team.
Yeah, definitely. He said we had our chances. We gave everything. He was completely satisfied at the end.
So this is before we start about the season and your career. How many interviews do you think I've done with you since 2014? That was our first interview when you were with the Rhine Stars, Cologne.
Maybe 5, if I'm just guessing.
9.
Wow.
And last season, I did a farewell article because I thought you were retiring. Mario Matic told me before the game, you've been saying for the last 5 years, I'm going to retire after the season, but you always come back. You're 38 years old, and you're still playing strong. Now my question is, how much longer do you want to play?
This is it. This is the last.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't say 100% unless some miracle happens, but I'm pretty sure this is it. This is the last go round.
So I'm glad I saw you play here, and I will see you play one more time in Frankfurt, thank God, and who knows, in the playoffs maybe. This is your 6th season in Oberhaching. Is it like a second home for you?
Definitely, yeah. When I came back, that was the agreement that we made with Mario. He said, "Hey, I know you're tired of changing cities. You got a family. You can just play here till you retire. You know the guys. You know me as a coach, and it just fit perfectly."
Now you're from Brooklyn, New York. New York City is a place where millions of people would love to live in, but you've been living in Munich or around Munich. Could Munich become like your home after your playing career, or will you go back to the States?
Yeah, Munich's definitely become my second home, my home away from home. We still go to visit. All my family's still in New York, so we go once or twice every year, but definitely Munich's become the second home.
Awesome. Oberhaching has developed so well in the last years through a great coach, Mario Matic, and just guys who have been on the team. You're in your 6th season. Finn Fischer's there since 2021. Bode is in his 7th season, and just a lot of guys. Kogler is there since 2015. What's the secret to the success of the team? Just the great chemistry?
Definitely. If I had to give one word, it's definitely chemistry and character. The one word everyone calls us instead of old is erfahren or experience, and I think it just goes perfectly together.
How special of a coach is Mario Matic? I mean, when you see him here, he's laughing a lot, he's smiling a lot. Can he also be a dog in the dressing room?
Yeah, when we need it and he sees we're lacking, then he gets on us, even in practice. In the last years playing for him, we've been sent home before, even out of practice. Hey, you don't look interested in practicing today, go home. So when he needs to get on us, he definitely does.
How has he helped you with your game? I mean, you were a walking bucket in the Regionalliga. Through 8 seasons, you averaged 22 points per season. But in the Pro B, you are also a walking bucket. How did he help your game, move on after your Regionalliga days?
I think just more so buying into the team concept and learning to do more things. He said, hey, don't focus on scoring. You'll get your scoring because you've been able to do that, but get into the game on the defensive end or rebounding or creating for other guys. And that's how I go into every game. Like, hey, at some point I'll get my chance to score, but find other ways to impact the game. And that's something he put into me in the last years.
You showed that tonight with 25 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, so you're filling the stat sheet like no other. Another guy that had a great game today, Maxwell Domongo Timoka. Nicolas Schula told me after the game he feels he's the best defender in the Pro B.
Yeah, I'm sure he's just a nasty guy to play against. He's so strong and active and athletic. He covers so much space under the end of the basket, and then he can switch off and guard a guard. Again, in practice, it's so difficult playing against him, so there's such a benefit.
I think one of the most important players in the last 10 years for the success and just the building up of the team and development has been János Kögler, who unfortunately couldn't be at the game today because his wife is about to get a baby and he wanted to be with her. But talk a little about János, just how he is as a leader and scorer and everything he does for the success.
He keeps the team together. Even when he's not there, he's involved. Even when he's been missing, he comes back in and he's been that voice. It's like, hey, I'm still here. Let's stay together. So that the chemistry stays the same no matter what's going on. If we're having a bad streak of losses or on a good run, say, hey, stay focused. He's just always been consistent with being that voice for us.
When everyone is fit, but then again, good old Maxwell won't be with you guys because he's going to China. But is a title in the cards for you?
I mean, it's not out of the picture, but it's like any other team. You gotta have luck and focus and of course everyone being healthy.
Who are you the closest to on the team?
I would say Philip Bode.
White chocolate.
Yeah. This is in part because I gotta play against him every practice, and
he keeps you on your toes, right?
Definitely. Most of the teams, even on the north side, I don't see many defenders like that.
During COVID, you played a season in Hanau. What are your memories of the ultimate leader, Till Joscha Jöntke?
Till is a gamer. Even when he's like not interested, there's been practices or games where he's just like coasting, and then a guy talks trash to him and he's like, all right, let's go. And then I remember a game we played against Karlsruhe, the Wizards, and Reuven Rössler was talking trash to Till. Till scores about 12 or something in the second half and hits a game winner. That's just who he is. He's a gamer.
Awesome, yeah. And Reuven Rössler is a legend. You also played a season in Cologne. What memories do you have of that? Was 10 years ago. I believe you guys played FC Bayern Munich in a test game in Cologne. Is that correct?
Yeah, that was one of the most memorable experiences in my life, playing in front of so many people. It's about 7,000 fans. They were the EuroLeague team back then, even. Coach Pezic, just so many legends on that team. Gavel, Micic, it's just name after name. Cologne, and as a whole, I loved the city. It was most comparable to New York for me. Just good times, really.
Now, I want to hear your best Bernd Krul story. He played till he was 40. I would hope you would follow his steps, but you're 38 and you're saying you're retiring after the season.
Man, it's been so long, but I can't even remember.
He was a funny guy, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, Storch. Storch was his nickname. I remember that. But Bernd was the best. And just thinking back, like, how time flies. Like, he was, I guess, around my age at that time.
Right.
Had just came down a few levels, wanted to still play, and just giving us gems every year as a veteran. And just thinking back on those times now, it's amazing.
Played your first season in Dachau. You had to pay your dues in the Regionalliga. What are your memories from there in the Regionalliga? And didn't you get any looks from higher level teams at that time?
Yeah, I mean, in Dachau, the first thing I remember, first gym, first contract, walking in, and the floor was green. And I was like, okay, which gym are we playing the games? And they're like, yeah, we're playing right here. And it was everything farm, and it was complete culture shock. But I knew it was something I wanted, and I had to grind. And it was just a learning process.
Was Anthony Pettaway like a mentor for you?
Yeah, definitely. We were, that was both of our rookie seasons, and it was great having each other. Both so far away from home, first year, going through it together, sticking through it. Hey, it's only 3 times a week practice. It was a grind, and we embraced it together. We helped each other out a lot.
You scored 48 points against Bad Aibling. Was that your best game as a pro?
That I can remember? No, I've had, just from memory, some bigger games against FC Bayern, only because that was a bit personal, like rival stuff.
You played at Bloomfield. If someone had told you in 2006 that you'd still be playing pro ball in 2025, what would have you thought?
Wow. I wouldn't have believed it, actually. I knew there was something that I wanted to do from when I first started, but this long, it's been a blessing.
You once told me you actually set foot on a court with Kyrie Irving. Where was that, and how did that go?
Kyrie I've known personally since he's 14 or 15 years old.
Wow, I did not know that.
And his AAU coach in high school used to coach a Pro-Am team every summer. So sometimes we would play together, and we would practice and play against each other often. And then, so when he was 15, 16, 17, we always played together. And then a few years later, this might have been after his rookie year with the Cavs, he came home and played in the Pro-Am with, I think he brought CJ Miles with him.
Okay.
And we played against each other. They played the first half, and then they left. But that's when I realized, yeah, okay, the NBA is different ball game. When you played in the Regionalliga, you belonged to the best players in the Regionalliga, but I believe one guy that you never played against, correct me if I'm wrong, is Ricky Easterling. Yeah, I've heard pretty much just as much about him. We've never gotten across. That's crazy. Yeah, I've heard he's been doing damage for a long time in the same. You played against so many great players in the Pro B. Who are some of the toughest players you fought against? Wow, in the Pro B, I would say Guy Eddy. Oh yeah, I remember him from Erfurt. Guy Eddy. He was a fucking bucket. He was tough. Wow, there's so many guys. You know where he played? He played at Gonzaga. I didn't realize that till like maybe last year or so. I was been in contact with some college coaches, and I just Googled him. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. But and some NBA guys there that were there that played in the NBA was teammates. Yeah, guy has always been a problem. Always. Yeah, just so many. I can go down the list of so many tough guys, tough matchups. Paul Albrecht, even, that's still playing now. He's gonna give you the same thing every night, no matter what. Like, it's just, these guys know how to be and fill the spots, and they just understand the game. Since you are retiring now soon, my question is, what dreams do you still have as a basketball player? All I can think of is winning the title now. Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing left. I would say that I'm really trying to I mean, for us, I would say one step smaller, just to get to the second round. We've had two chances at least in the last 4 years, and that's the main goal for now. Last question, Omari. Who wins a one-on-one in practice, you or Janos Kogler? Me, of course. I'm gonna beat up on Janos. Okay. Omari, always a pleasure to see you play. It's gonna be sad when some of the old guard isn't around anymore, because
You're an attraction in the Pro B, and I always thought you should have played in higher leagues, but that's for another interview. But thanks.
Oh yeah, you just reminded me actually a crazy story. After Dachau, I had an offer to go play in Ristwedel for Coach Sebastian Gleim.
Oh, Gleim, yeah, he was in Frankfurt many years. I know him, yeah.
And I just played this back in my head years later. I turned the offer down because it was so little money, and Dachau was getting maybe 3 times the amount I was getting offered. And then after I got citizenship, I thought he got the Bundesliga job in Frankfurt, and I was always like, man, what if? What if? But hey, everything happens for a reason.
Omari, thanks very much for the interview. Always good to see you. All the best for you.
Thank you.